Hello everyone, welcome to my Chapter 5 overview. Now going forward in this class, I wanted to provide you with an overview of each of the remaining chapters, chapters 5 through 9. The purpose is simply to review the resources available to you to learn the material each week and for each chapter. Additionally, and also separately, I will be producing very brief reviews of selected homework assignments that will demo how to approach the problem-solving process. Note that my demos, in most cases, will assume you have already completed your reading and are familiar with any new terms, definitions, and/or concepts that are part of the new chapter. So I will not be referring back to those foundational ideas unless there is a need for a deeper discussion. Remember that you should always use the discussion threads and/or the voice threads, if available, to follow up with any questions that may come up as you review either these chapter overviews or the problem-solving demo videos. I find it useful to always begin with learning objectives, or LOs, to make sure we're all on the same page with respect to what each video covers and what it does not. It is also useful to always have a connecting link to the material in the book. Remember that the book and most of the other chapter-related materials are organized by learning objective. In this case, in the case of Chapter 5, we are accounting for a specific type of transactions for a specific type of business, merchandisers. The chapter covers 8 LOs that include topics on 2 inventory systems, periodic and perpetual, which will be covered in more depth in Chapter 6. The main focus of Chapter 5 is to account for merchandise transactions from both a purchaser and a seller perspective. Ultimately, you will also be effectively applying what you learned from chapters 1 through 4, the accounting cycle or process, to merchandiser type of businesses. If you refer to the current module, I have included my lecture notes. They include an expanded lecture note on the 3 types of businesses: service, merchandisers, and manufacturers. I recommend that you take a few minutes to review this handout. Note that Accounting 1A and 1B are mostly concerned with the first 2, while manufacturers is a main form of business in Accounting 1C. I also recommend that you get initial, even if basic, understanding of the 3 basic legal forms of business: proprietorships, partnerships, and corporations. Accounting 1A assumes proprietorships in most of the chapters, while Accounting 1B will introduce partnerships and corporations. My lecture notes also provide you with a listing of new accounts, those not seen in prior chapters, as well as new calculations or concepts that I highlight to make sure that you pay special attention to them. For example, in this chapter, you will learn about gross profit, COGS, or cost of goods sold, FOB destination, FOB shipping point, and others. For this chapter, I am also including in my lecture notes a handout showing what I call generic journal entries, or JEs, that illustrate the basic journal entries for the standard transactions in this chapter, with conceptual explanations, not numbers. I highly recommend that you study these types of handouts. My lecture notes also include some other information, including key points, Excel templates, and answer keys. You can find these additional resources in the chapter lesson and homework review pages in each module. Were I not to develop chapter overviews to perhaps concentrate more of my time in developing problem-solving demos, you can refer back to this Chapter 5 overview, since the setup of the remaining modules and lecture notes is essentially the same for all chapters. If you have any questions, please post them in the current week's discussion threads and or voice threads. Take care all.